smells. It smells like celery. Does celery have a smell? Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, just to preface this, by the way, you can skip the intro if you want, if you hate my intros. This video is gonna be bookmarked, but I'm in the worst mood today. I'm in a really foul mood today. I feel like everything and everyone is just pissing me off. I'm just having one of those days where, like, even if you like get snagged, like your shirt gets snagged on a door handle, it's just, you just want to. So today is one of those days. I do think that like pregnancy hormones has certainly something to do with it, I would hope, and that I'm not just like a raging biatch. But just to kind of give you an idea of what today has been looking like already, we had to do a bunch of things around the house. Today was pressure washing day on the balcony. Everything was going wrong. The machine stopped working. We had to do everything manually. We're trying to get Archie's TV. It's more like Vince's TV. We're trying to get the TV mounted in Archie's room, and we're just realizing that we misplaced a bunch of screws and things are missing. So Vince is at the store trying to find replacement parts and stuff like that. And everything is just making me mad. Today was supposed to just be a plant day for me, but it just kind of turned out that like everything we were supposed to do yesterday didn't get done because of other things, and so it's all smushed into today. So I am gonna be pulled between plant stuff and house stuff, but I'm gonna try and get everything done. Just FYI, I was supposed to film this day of plant things on a different day, but it didn't end up happening. So I'm gonna do it today, but I will roll you the footage that I took the day that it was supposed to go up. And I went to lunch with Alice and Jing. I will link both of them in the description. And we ended up going to Vandula Farms after lunch, and that was the first time that I had been back since last year, the spring of last year. So it's pretty much been a year since I've been there, and it looks amazing. I did grab a couple things, so I'm gonna show you kind of what they have in store right now, give you a little tour, and then I will show you what I picked up from them, and then we will jump right into the first chore of the day. by the way, you're gonna catch this in today's video. My belly band, I think he dropped, and there's just so much pressure down there. I can't walk without my little band. So I'm gonna show you the first things that I got, but I'm gonna show you something else first to show you why I got these things. So a couple weeks ago, I created this little arrangement for my kitchen. It sits right in front of my sink, so it's constantly being like sort of splashed by water and stuff. And honestly, I didn't think that I would love it as much as I ended up loving it. And it's been doing good so far, with the exception of this little guy, which didn't make it. And it's weird because I didn't even notice that this happened. So I was gonna get rid of one of them anyway. So I'm just gonna throw this out, and I wanna kind of redo this a little bit. I just felt like it was a little blah. It was a little muted. You couldn't really see a pop of anything. So I wanted to grab a few things. I was thinking of doing some like, sorry, I'm just constantly out of breath. I wanted to do succulents just because I like how colorful succulents are, but I don't like how fast they grow. And this is not a display that I really want to have a ton of like maintenance work to do on it. Like, I kind of just want it to live there and chill out, live its life, leave me alone. I ended up grabbing 2 plants for it from Vandula. Sorry, my phone is gonna keep vibrating because Vince is at the store, and I told him to text me if he has any questions about the screws. But anyway, I picked up this Haworthia. I don't know exactly what kind, Haworthia zebra. And I've always really, really liked these things. Surprisingly, I was having a hard time finding this variety of it. I've always seen this one at the store, but not this one. So I thought this would be kind of like a cool addition, and it brings like a pop of something, like color, like that white, and brings some texture. And this one's kind of unexpected. I don't know if I'm gonna take out this Zenzi in here, but she got an orchid. They had so many cute orchids, which you would have seen in the little montage, but this one kind of just spoke to me, and she's really cute. This one started opening in my care, and it kind of looks like these ones are starting to open now too. So obviously when the flowers die back, I'm just gonna have the little leaves in the arrangement, but that's fine, because if I can keep it happy, it would be cool to kind of see this orchid come back whenever they do, you know, like when it reblooms. So I'm gonna be adding this to it too, and I think it would just be a nice little add-on. So those are the 2 plants that I got for it. I wanted to get more, but then I was like, I don't want it to be like an overkill, so we're gonna leave it at that. I was going to run over to Michael's this morning to grab, like, I don't know, decorative rocks or something to put over it, but just with all the complications with things that we had to do, I was like, you know what, I'm not leaving the house. Just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna leave the house. So we're just gonna use pumice again. And eventually, because I do have to get something for Archie's room from Michael's, I'll just add on some rocks later. But this is the last thing that I got from Vandula. Originally, I was thinking maybe I could do an orchid in here and then just have it like sort of sit in water or something, or do like an air plant arrangement. But I have since then decided to just use this for our keys. So yeah, I'm not using this for plants, but I thought this was really cute. So yeah, this is just gonna go on our front table, throw our keys in it. And that's that. And eventually, because I switch out the little key container so often that once I get tired of this, then at least I can repurpose it for plants. I think we're gonna head into the plant room. It's crazy out here. There's laundry in the corner, the stroller that we hose down, the house is a mess, and it's making me spiral. But I guess I should get used to that, given that I am having a child. But anyway, let's go into the plant room, get our hands dirty. Hopefully it resets my mood, because I feel like I'm just projecting negative energy right now. Okay, I know this is a really, really weird angle, but I was too lazy to do my setup today. We're doing the bare minimum. It's been like 2 hours since I filmed that intro. We just, come on. We just mounted the TV, so happy to have gotten that done. Let's make sure you can actually see what I'm doing. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of just remove the little things in here. I have to decide whether I'm keeping the Zenzi. I don't know if it's gonna be weird. It's so strange how this one just rotted. Come on. This one's doing fine though. I don't want to touch it because I can see some new roots, but I need to figure out, I sort of want to do this orchid in the corner like this. I know you guys are seeing it backward. My thought is putting it in the corner like this and then putting this one in this corner like that. And I guess I could leave the Zenzi, but this is like, in terms of balance, they're like as big as each other, so there's a part of me that kind of just wants to remove the Zenzi and just do this little guy on this side. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do actually, and then I can do orchid on this side, put Zenzi with that, and do that. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't know where else I would put this plant right here. I have a massive headache. I don't know where it came from. It just snuck up on me. I'm just gonna put this in here so that I don't make a mess. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see what I'm doing now, but I'll show you what it looks like after. So this guy's coming out. I need to, am I looking at the front or the back? I think I'm looking at the, whoa. No, that's right. Okay, I need to dig a little hole. Maybe I'll take you higher so you can at least see something. All right, so I'm gonna dig a little hole here. I think that might be deep enough. Could probably go a little deeper, but I don't want to disturb the roots on this one too much. I wish this could scoot a little bit over, but I don't want to disturb it. I don't want to uproot it. Plus the pups are probably going to branch off this way anyway. So it'll fill in eventually. Plus I kind of like the negative space a little bit. My head is pounding, and this fungus gnat is trying to fly, I swear, into my mouth. Let's take some of this. Actually, the orchid is gonna need probably more water than the rest of the plants in here, because all of the plants that I've potted in here pretty much only need water like every few weeks, really, especially since it's not sitting anywhere with a grow light. It's not really getting a lot of direct light from the sun. And so I'm gonna actually pot a separate pot for the orchid. I think I have a splinter. Why are splinters so painful? It's like I'd rather get a cut than have a splinter. Oh, I don't like that sound. So here's what that's looking like so far in this little corner, the west side, the west wing. I don't want to keep it in moss though. I kind of want to grow it in just like maybe orchiata. So I'm gonna remove some of this. Hopefully this is deep enough. I didn't really think about that. I technically don't really need leca in this corner. This is really freaking tiny. Oh gosh. Did not think about this part. I'm gonna re-wet this moss so that it's easier to untangle. I don't know how long this is gonna be able to live in here now. Because I didn't think about the watering situation. But you know, we're gonna make it work. Even if I can just have it for like a season, like a year, I'd be happy. And then can eventually just like separate this orchid and put it somewhere else. This is me thinking I'm gonna keep an orchid alive and happy, but maybe this is my year of the orchid. Because I really do like orchids. I just can't get them to flower and I just can't keep them happy. I do want to remove as much of this moss as possible though, because moss holds so much water. And I'd feel better if this was like sitting under a grow light or like in a windowsill or something, but since it's just on my kitchen counter, I'm not feeling confident about like the water to light ratio, especially out of like hot months, like once we're back into fall and winter. I'm looking at my to-do list today and it's really just a lot of potting, like besides washing my vessels, which I already did, and I will insert that footage at some point of this video. That killed me. My back was killing me. I had to like bring a stool over to wash, because standing for too long, I can stand for like 5 minutes and then my whole body feels like it's on fire. Okay. Roots. This is what I was attempting to put it in, but I think it's gonna be way too small. But then the size up that I do have a size up, but I might have to cut the top of it this size. But maybe if I move all of this leca over, it'll fit. It sticks out a little bit, but I think I could shave it down a bit, no? Like if I just take a little bit off. What's the best way to do this? Maybe in little segments. There we go. Oh, that's much better. All right, so I think what I'll start by doing is placing it where I want and then filling around it with substrate. Oh wait, what am I doing here? I'm doing, oh, the little thingy guy. think it'll be easier if I just like scoot and push it all. You guys can't see jack crap. How do I have so many? How do I have 20,000 subscribers? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, before I do that, actually, maybe we plant that guy. Hopefully the root system isn't huge too. I doubt it is. Usually these have just like the tiniest little root system. Whew, dusty. Okay. Yeah, it's quite small. I love this thing. It is beautiful. I'm so happy I found one. Okay, so we're gonna put it like right up here and then do this orchid here. Oh, this is so freaking cute. Okay. Let's do Haworthia first. Probably could have shaved down the orchid pot a little bit, but I'm not super fussed about it. I can always do like maybe a moss topper or something. If I can get some live moss or sheet moss or something. Something of the sort. I hope this Haworthia pups for me soon. I'd love to have more of it. Now, Orchiata. If you guys don't know what Orchiata is, I will link it in the description and you can read on it. It is great stuff. It's pricey, which is why I don't use it very often, but it makes sense to use it on an actual orchid. I could have also mixed a bit of perlite with it, but I think this is gonna be fine. I just really didn't want it in moss. And Orchiata comes in different grades, so the one that I'm using right now is like the finest grade, so the smallest pieces of bark. Let me take it out of this thing, and then I think all we have to do now is top with pumice until I can eventually get some decorative rocks. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Let me give you a better view once I put the pumice in. Alright, all we need to do now is figure out where the little mushroom is gonna go. So you're looking at it from the front. Got air plant, which can go, sorry, I have to see it from the front. I can't visualize this from the back. Maybe it can go in the orchid, or is that too much? Maybe here? No. Here. And then mushroom can go maybe with the orchid. So we've got Maybe I'll move this tiny little, this tiny guy who I don't think has any roots barely. Maybe he can go in the front now. Maybe it's his time to shine. So, should I put him, I'll put him here. Come on. Deeper. Okay. Oh no, I have to sneeze. Oh no, I've got to sneeze. I think that's good, people. This is like the most unflattering angle of me. It's just like me with my legs spread. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. All right. I need to move down. I think it's really cute. I think it turned out really, really nice. What do you guys think? I'm feeling really good about it. I think it's super cute. We've got the orchid in the corner, the little mushroom, which I think can go down a smidgen, and the little Haworthia next to it, and then this corner is a full house. Have the Zenzi in the corner. I think it's much more balanced this way. My projection, if I can keep it alive, I hope this Haworthia pups and kind of branches out this way. Same with this one. I hope it gets bigger. As this one gets taller and sort of outcompetes the height of this one. Oh my god, my manicure's fighting for its life. As this Haworthia outcompetes the height of this Zenzi, because this thing is not a fast grower at all, I can always chop it down. And I can actually probably do that now so that it's a little bit shorter and that it like comes out more this way. But I mean, the Zenzi is still significantly taller than this one. But I probably could, maybe in a couple weeks, as it gets taller, because it grows quite fast, I will chop it down so that it's a little bit shorter and then it's a little bit more balanced on this side. But I'm feeling good about it. So I'm gonna go put it in the kitchen and show you what it looks like. I think it's adorable. What do we have next on the list? I've already made such a huge mess in here. What the heck? We've done one thing and it is a wreck. Redo kitchen arrangement, done. Okay, there are 4 plants that I need to repot and 1 plant that I need to propagate. Oh gosh, that just sploshed everywhere. Okay, the first 2 that I am repotting are just upsizes because they're getting a little bit too small for their vessels. I mean, not really. They can live in there longer, but I'm trying to size them up faster. So those two plants are gonna be, how did I get so far away here? The two plants that I'm upsizing are the Hoff red crystal seedlings that I did with Lauren at North Shore. So this is gonna be its third up pot now. And these are significantly larger than the ones that are in little tiny vessels still. So you guys see those black lines on the screen? Or is that a shadow? What am I looking at here? What the heckers? Do you guys see that line right there? Am I dumb? Okay, whatever. So here's one of them. It's very, very elongated and bleached to crap. And this is the other one. They look so different, but I think they're both really cute. So I'm gonna just get them out of here because they're in these little cups and I just think it's time. It's time, and I'm gonna upsize them into these guys here. I'm noticing that if you guys have Hoff red crystals, I feel like they're a little bit sensitive to light. Like they bleach so easily. So I've moved the rest of my seedlings to a place with like really, really little light. And I'm hoping that they darken up a bit. Because it's interesting because both parents are very dark. But a lot of the seedlings that I'm seeing are like a lot lighter in color. I'm gonna take its little baby leaf off. Oh, my head hurts so bad. And I know I could take Tylenol, but I'm just so weird. It's so funny because like I want to get an epidural and like I don't want to do birth like naturally. Like yes, I want to do a vaginal birth, but I don't like want to do it without an epidural, but I won't take Tylenol. She's weird. Okay, these roots look really good, which I'm happy about. It's just so stinking bleached, man. I'm wondering if it's getting too much light where it's at. I could move it. Honestly, I think I could just move these to my plant shelf and just give it whatever light from my windows, and then like there's only 10-watt Verenas on there. Like it shouldn't be that strong. So just something to chat about. It would have already happened by the time this video goes up, but some of you guys might know that I went live on the Palm Street app. And if you don't know what Palm Street is, it's this app where you can sell plants live. You can create basically like a storefront and just sell, do straight sales. You don't have to go live. But it's just like really cool to be able to see, you know, the people behind the shops, get to engage with them, talk to them. I've already made friends with 2 new shops that I had never heard of before. I have plants from one of them. And so yeah, it's just like a really cool sort of like live marketplace e-commerce site for plant sellers. It's only in the US right now. I can link it in the description, but you're gonna have to open it on a phone to download the app. But anyway, I went live with Alice doing a Q&A, like an anthurium show and tell plus Q&A, or I'm going to. And I'm really nervous. I wasn't nervous before, I think because I just didn't really have time to think about it, and now that it's so close, I'm like starting to get really nervous because what if there's like mean people? Like trolls and stuff, because on our platforms it's like, you know, it's mostly people who know us, our own subscribers, our own followers, but like Palm Street is just so open to anyone who doesn't know us and whatever. Like anybody could just see that we're going live and just tune in. What if they're mean? It's not even really an anxiety. I think it's different when you get like a comment that's mean because it's just a comment and I have time to like read it and process it and reply to it. But like live, it's so different. Like you're put on the spot, you know? Luckily, I've only had one negative experience with going live, and I can't even remember what it was about. Maybe somebody else might remember. I did a premiere once on my YouTube channel. If you don't know what a premiere is, it's like when a new YouTube video goes up and you can turn on the chat and everyone can like talk live and watch the video together. And there was like one person that I had to block from the chat because they were like saying, I honestly don't even remember what they said, but I had to remove them. But I mean, like, obviously it wasn't that bad if I can't remember like the details of it, you know? But yeah, I guess it's just different when you're live and you're like put on the spot and you don't really have time to react in a way that you would want to or whatever. So I don't know. I'm just anxious. I mean, obviously it's nice that I'm doing this with Alice because I don't think I'd be able to do it by myself. Like, I do plan on going live on this channel on YouTube eventually. I have one scheduled in a few weeks. But I don't know, YouTube, especially just like being on my channel, it feels a little, not safer, but just more comfortable or familiar. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's more familiar, and you get less people that are just like random who don't know you. But don't get me wrong, I am excited to go live and just see how it is. Hopefully a good amount of people tune in and watch and ask us questions, and it's not just crickets, because that would be really embarrassing. Okay, so anyway, these two are sized up now. Hopefully I see some size growth. Not gonna put them back in the XO just because I think it's just too bright in there. I want to see some darker leaves. This is gonna be interesting, but I wanted to document it on YouTube so that there's evidence that I did it in front of the people. I've been chatting with Alice, and we have been noticing some kind of suspicious things happening with our anthurium. Particularly for me is like this fungal stuff, and I talked to you guys about the fungal issues I was having with some of my anthurium a couple weeks ago. I can't remember which video it would have been in, but I've just been dealing with really fungally spots, and I think I cut off a lot of the leaves, but I'll plug in some photos here of some of the plants that I've been noticing having these little spots. And at first I chalked it up to it being a literal fungal issue because it's in like a cabinet or something, or not a cabinet, an XO or a greenhouse or a prop box. But I was getting spots on plants that were just outside, like on my living room or whatever. And it's interesting because so many of the plants that were touching other plants, it like wasn't transferring. It's not like one plant had spots and then the rest of them around them got spots. And that was my experience before when I was having trouble with fungal issues with anthurium. This time it seems very isolated, and the only thing that is kind of the least common denominator between all of these is that I switched up my soil mix and I used coco with peat, because before I used to just use peat moss in my aeroid mix, and then I recently started adding coco because I noticed really good like root growth with it, but then after a period of time it would get really spotty. And not only that, a lot of the plants were having like root rot after an X amount of time. I got a few comments from people saying to be careful using coco because a lot of the horticultural stuff that you're gonna buy, yes, it's horticultural grade and it's made for plants, but it's not pre-rinsed or washed, and you have to like buffer coco. I'll link something in the description of something I read regarding buffering coco, specifically for like marijuana, but I imagine it would be the same for aroids. So I have an excess of Hoffmanii. Hold on, I need to go pee. Sorry, there is no such thing as holding your pee when you're pregnant. So, okay, where was I? I have an excess of Hoffmanii X Red Crystal, and I thought they would be good test subjects just because they're from the same seed batch. I can pull 2 that are nearly identical in like maturity. And so I'm gonna pot 1 in a coco mix and 1 in a peat mix. It would probably be even a better test if I could pot 1 in buffered coco, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to buffer the coco. It's just too much for me. So I just essentially want to see if the plant that is potted in the coco, unbuffered coco mix is going to have spots. Because if it does, then that's enough for me to be like, okay, I need to not use coco or just not use unbuffered coco anymore, because this whole thing has been a pain in the butt. So I've already taken out pretty much all of my anthurium that were in a coco based mix. I'm not saying that coco is like bad to pot in, but reading now on using unbuffered coco and how it can cause like nutrient lockout, salt burn, like fertilizer burn, stuff like that, I'm just like, it's not worth it for me, especially since peat has been working just fine. So I'm going to pull 2 plants that I feel like are kind of the same size. This one's a pretty good size, but I would have to find one that is comparable, which is probably going to be this one. What are we thinking? It's a little smaller. Maybe I can use these 2 instead. This one's actually a really cute one. These seem, oh yeah, this seems way more equal, I guess. I only have a few left now. I'm ready to sell and get rid of some of these. I might keep 1 more because the one I just showed you, like this one is really cute. I really like this one. I just want to see what they're gonna look like as they get bigger. And this one is really cute too. No, not this one. This one. It's like really pinky. So I don't know. I'm not in like a crazy rush to sell them, so. Oh my gosh. Okay. First things first. I really want a smoothie. That sounds so good right now. Kind of sucks that these are wet. I just watered them. I hate working with wet substrate. This substrate's actually good still, so, because this doesn't have, these don't have coco in it. So actually, I can leave one of them, because I just potted these not too long ago. I'll leave one of them in this mix, because this doesn't have coco. This is just peat. And then I'll do one of them in the coco mix. Okay. I didn't notice this one had a new leaf on the way. Oh, why didn't I mix this? My brain is so jumbled. I wanted to mix this soil in with my soil because this soil was fine. Whatever. So I'm gonna add the peat based soil as my base, but I'm gonna add coco, just like I did with my anthurium that were showing spots. So I just have to keep remembering to do like updates on this, and hopefully I can remember to do that, but I probably won't observe results for a while because I didn't notice any spotting right away with my plant. It kind of just happens slowly. So maybe in about 2 months I'll have something to show you guys, hopefully. All right. Here is the coco mix. Just gonna get it right back into here. I'm gonna keep it exactly in the same place so that they have the same exact growing conditions. They will be fertilized the same, watered the same. Nothing will be different between them. I'm just gonna have to label these so that I know that they're my testers and I don't accidentally sell them. Tags. So I have these tags on it already, but I think on the back I'll write peat and then coco. I'm gonna give this great white water just like the other seedlings have gotten. Making it fair and square here. I have no ulterior motive, I promise. Really am just trying to get down to the bottom of this. I think that Alice is running a few experiments right now, 2 if I can remember. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to self my scalprum for the first time. There's literally 3 inflows coming in on it at the same time, and it is like just killing my leaves. There's like 3 dying leaves on it right now. It just takes so much energy, and I've been like fertilizing it like crazy, but I just want to try it once. I just want to try and see if I can get berries, that just for the experience. Like honestly, I'm not even trying to like freaking retire off scalprum seeds. I just want to see if it works. Okay, so we've got our 2 test subjects here. I think I'm gonna grow these in a prop box still for now, because they've been in a prop box. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll just have them somewhere in my plant room, but they'll be in the same exact location so that it has the same environment and one isn't getting special treatment over another. But yeah, I'm actually really anxious to see if we get some actual results from this, because that would answer a lot of my questions that I've had lately, because I'm just like, why am I having fungal issues? Like, what the hell? Ever since I've been growing my anthurium out in ambient, I have not had any fungal issues at all, and that was the main reason why I started moving all my anthurium out, because I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So when it started happening again, I was like, I am cursed. So if we can narrow it down to the coco, I'd actually be so happy. The next thing I need to do is propagate my Hoya thomsonii. So if you watched the repot and chat video where I talked about some of my unfortunate dating stories, I will link that in the description as well. I was gonna repot my Hoya thomsonii onto a trellis, but then I realized I don't really have anywhere to put it. So I decided that I'm gonna just make a trailing pot instead, but I want it to be bushy. So I gotta propagate. Where's my towel? This is the first time that I've been able to put like all my hair up, which I missed so much. I think I'm just a bun. I'm a bun girly. I'm gonna grow my hair out again. Short hair was fun for a little bit, and I really liked it, but it's just too much. It's too high maintenance. You can't just get out of bed and just put it up. You have to like style it, and you know who I look like if I don't style it the right way. Sometimes actually if I style it and I style it the wrong way, I look like this guy from, what is it, Shrek? Or Puss in Boots? I was like, oh my gosh, we are twins. That's exactly what I look like. I always explain it as my hair looks like a pilgrim, but this is what I'm talking about. I look like this dude. Oh, humiliating. So essentially we're just starting over, and I'm not fussed because my Hoyas stress me out. I want to get rid of more Hoyas. I just don't know who. And so I'm not like in a rush to have this one be like a big bushy trailing thing. I kind of just want to figure out what the plan is going to be. So I have 2 strands here. And I think what I'm going to do is chop them into like single or double nodes and then just prop box it. And then I'll leave the base as it is, and that will be like my main plant, I guess. So I'm gonna chop it here. Chop this whole guy off. And same with this. And then just gonna put this back on my shelf as is. This little string I'm gonna chop here. And then I'm gonna chop maybe here. And then for this one, let's do that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuttings here. I'm gonna let the sap dry out and let the stems callus a bit before I get it into a high humidity prop box. And I know exactly which prop box I'm gonna put it in because I need to take a Hoya out of there and pot it up now. This one is finally ready to get potted up, and hopefully it doesn't tank again once I do get it repotted. Look at these aerial roots that went crazy in the prop bin, but it's fine. I could cut it and add it to the pot so it's a little bushier, but I don't know. It seems okay. There are 3 cuttings, so 1, 2, this one's a bigger one. Like I could separate this, not separate it, but like I could chop like some of these off more, but I feel like once they're all together, it kind of seems bushy enough, right? I mean, maybe this one can be chopped a bit because it already has aerial roots and I can just put it in the pot. Okay, what is happening here? What do I want to do? You know what, I'm not gonna fuss with it more. I'm already like just so happy I got roots on this because it was so shriveled up. If you are struggling rooting your mint coin, put it in a prop bin. It roots so much faster and it plumps up. And obviously I am opting to go for pond because it was in pond before. These are water roots, and I just find that water to leca or water to pond is a much smoother transition than water roots to soil. Not that it can't be done, it's just my experience is much better with doing semi-hydro with a soilless substrate. Sorry. It's like the sentence was in my head and then I just stopped because I got lazy to say it. But I'm just gonna pot it like this and let it figure itself out, I think. Or maybe I pot this one. Where did my cutting go? Oh, here. Okay, I've got these 2. These are just wild. There's a wild child. So I've got that one. I think I'll put this one in the middle of them and then put that there so it's a little fuller. Okay. I've been contemplating doing a trailing shelf because right now I have my anthurium mixed in with all my trailing plants, like my trailing hoya, my trailing ripsalis, trailing whatever. But my hoya or my anthurium are starting to get really big, and I don't think that they'll be able to coexist for much longer. Like I think this summer is really gonna put them over the edge, and so I kind of have to start separating some of them. And so I'm thinking of a place to create just a shelf of my trailing plants together, but I think I would have to do some sort of spotlight over it. So I'm going back and forth between a Russo light and a Soltec light. I'm kind of leaning more towards a Soltec because the color temperature would be the same as all the other lights in my house, like more on the warm side. So yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it. But I think that's gonna have to happen over the fall I'm gonna have to figure out where it's gonna go. I kind of have an idea of where it'll go already. It's that shelf between my dining area and my kitchen, but it's facing away from the windows, so I would have to do some sort of artificial light situation on top. Anyway, just something I'm thinking about because my trailing plants are getting long, my anthurium are getting big. Last weekend, was it? Me and Vince just spent all morning moving around my big plants. Well, he moved around my big plants and I just directed him where to go because everything is just getting so big, and I don't know where anything is going, basically. I guess it's a good problem to have. It's like when your plants are doing so well and they're getting nice and big, but it's like you can only chop so much, you know? For my monstera, it's like chopping that would be I would have to do that when I'm not pregnant for sure. My Thai is one. I found a new spot for my Thai, and I'll plug in a photo of where I put it. You'll be able to live here for quite a while because the nodes are so close, like they stack so close, and it's kind of growing outward, so it'll have more space to live. But I'm considering, because I did get a plant, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I got a plant that I'm very, very, very excited about. So excited that I am contemplating getting rid of my large form monstera because something has to give. Anyway, sorry for teasing that, but she's in. I don't know where to put her. I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to put her somewhere where she can trail, so likely on my shelf in the living room, but it is a full house there, and in a few weeks, I don't know if this video is gonna go up before, I'm redoing my shelf out there. I'm redoing some of the lights out there. I want to give it like a full facelift and makeover because I like doing it every few weeks, giving it like a full refresh, changing the plants out that are there. I think some of my anthurium will be ready to kind of acclimatize out and go out onto the shelf, but yeah. All these things are in the works right now, and I'm like trying to get it all done before little dude comes because it could be really any day now. So I just want to be prepared. I want to be ready, and I want my plants to be in a good place when that happens because I know there might be a little bit of neglect. Like, you know, I've experienced the newborn stage with my niece, and yeah, there's a lot of sleeping. But in the time that Archie is sleeping, I'm sure I'm gonna want to sleep. I'm sure I'm gonna want to clean, pump, catch up on bottles. So I'm not trying to get like too cocky, like, oh yeah, he's gonna sleep and I'm gonna do all these plant things. So anywho, I'm gonna water this with great white water, and everybody keep your fingers and toes crossed for it. I think for the Thomsonii, I'm just gonna propagate them in perlite. I'm not a huge perlite propagator, to be honest. I don't propagate a ton in perlite, but because this one is going into a high humidity prop box, I definitely have less sort of mold. What is it? You know when you get like that like white fuzzy mold on your props? I just noticed that it's so much less when you do perlite, if at all. So I'm just gonna do that, and hopefully I don't have to worry about them. What I've been doing for my plants that develop that fuzz, especially on like anthurium seeds when you're trying to germinate them. Come on, work with me here. I've just been using copper fungicide. I'll just like spray copper fungicide on the top and it usually gets rid of it, but sometimes it doesn't. So then you just have to like kind of open up that prop bin more often, get some air in there, or just keep it slightly propped open, but make sure you're like not letting it dry out. So I just have them like kind of sitting on the surface of the perlite, and the humidity should do the rest of the work. This is kind of a cruddy day of plant things if all I'm doing is repotting. I usually like to try and do a good mix of things. How about while I clean up in here and tidy up in here a little bit, I'll play you the footage of me washing my vessels and hopefully it motivates you to wash your vessels, because that is definitely my least favorite plant chore to do ever in the whole world. And I've been pretty good about like washing things right after a repot. Like I'm immediately going to take something like this to the sink and wash it. I'm not going to let it pile up, but I've been so busy over the last few weeks. I've just been dumping it into a bin, so things got a little bit backed up. But I feel like I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do. There was one more thing I wanted to do on camera, so I'll play you a little time lapse, and then we will do the last thing on our to-do list. Okay, last thing on the list is handling this thing. So you're probably wondering, what are we doing here? This is my philodendron, what are we calling this now? Philodendron SP El Guapo, philodendron El Guapo tight veins, whatever. So I recently moved it out here and she pushed out this really Gorgina leaf, and so shiny, flawless. But we have the world's longest rhizome ever. And I just kind of want to fill it in and see if it'll fill in. So I think we're going to notch a little bit along this rhizome. And hopefully I don't get attacked by fungus gnats. But like, look at all of this rhizome. I'm hoping that the notching works. I'm gonna try and, you know, obviously get it as close to like an auxiliary bud as possible, but I'm kind of limited in what I can do. Also, this is probably the world's shakiest video, I'm sorry. I do have a video on notching, so I'm not gonna explain it too much right now. And I will, of course, link that if you wanted to watch it. I'm just gonna see where the best place to notch is. So auxiliary bud, auxiliary bud, auxiliary bud. I think I'm gonna hit those 3. So I'm just gonna maybe chop. Do I wanna do it here or here? I think I'll do it here. I'm gonna go as deep as possible without actually severing the whole thing. And then I'm gonna take my sheet and I'm gonna stick it in here so that it can't heal on itself and it kind of feels like it's been chopped, like it thinks that it's been chopped off from the rest of the plant. We're trying to trick it. And then this one, I think I'll do right here. I've never actually notched something that's like buried in soil, so hopefully this doesn't backfire on me and give me some sort of like fungal issue or something. Not fungal issue, like a rot issue, because it's not super sterile now. I think it's gonna be fine though. Got that, and then I have another bud right here, so I'm gonna chop right here. I'm gonna try and get this one nice and deep. That's what she said. All right, so I've got 3. I think that should be good. I also have one right here, but it's pretty close to the main growth point. I really just want to fill in over here. I would love if this one woke up, these 2. I would be happy if these 2 woke up. So I'm almost wondering if I do a second one above them, just to like make it really think it's been attacked. But maybe that'll be enough. You know what, let's just do it. We're already here. So I'm gonna do one more on the top of this one. And same with this guy. Looks like Frankenstein. Okay, so she is done. Everything's notched, and I guess I'll update you in whenever I have an update and see if any of the auxiliary buds wake up. Back where we started, I'm just more tired now, but fortunately in a much better mood. I know this one was a bit shorter. My goal with the day of plant things instead of doing a week of plant things is that I produce longer videos for you guys, but not have to film over the course of a week. But this, yeah, this month is just, it's too much for me. I have so much going on this week. and heavily pregnant. So next one I'll try and make it a little longer. I did do a lot of plant chores over the last few days that just couldn't wait, like watering. I was gonna water in this video and show some like highlights of some plants, but I think I'm gonna wait to do that in my plant shelf video, and yeah. Anyway, I'm ready to go to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's probably gonna be a shorter upload. Hope it motivated you to do all the plant things. And if it didn't, I hope it just kept you company. So thank you for being here again. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.